Good afternoon. I'm Richard Lonsdale, Chairman of the Young Planning Commission. I call the meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, and time is 4 p.m. Staff, please take roll call.
Commissioner Richard Lonsdale.
Here.
Commissioner Robert Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner John Graver.
Here.
Commissioner Dana Allen. Here. Commissioner Ann Warman is excused, and Commissioner Ashley Brooks. Here.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Everyone had an opportunity to read the attached minutes.
Yes.
Okay, I will point out on the previous minutes, I know it's already come to the staff's attention that I was listed as opening the last meeting. However, the vice chair, Commissioner Bailey, had opened the meeting as I was absent. So with that amendment, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Approved minutes as corrected.
For a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against?
Nay.
Okay. So the ayes carried. Now, in that case, do I add for a reason for the nay or?
Well, typically you open it up for discussion before a vote after a second.
Okay. So even though it's typically on a majority aye, I mean, there's typically no discussion.
After you've taken the vote now, but it just in future, after a second, you should say.
Is there a discussion?
Seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Okay. So can I go ahead and ask Commissioner Brooks in the discussion on it, or I'm kind of curious on.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was 2 points that there was no discussion. And then the second is that I believe that the discussion on our April 21st meeting being a tour at the city hall, it should be included in the minutes, and I didn't see it.
Okay.
So those were my reasons for voting nay.
Okay. Thank you. Oh.
We can note that in the minutes for the next meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so that will be included in the next meeting then. Has everyone had an opportunity to read the agenda?
Yes.
Are there any conflicts of interest present between any commissioner and an agenda item? Okay. Staff, are there any communications?
Yeah, a few things. First off, I hope you all did enjoy the tour last month. We should make that an annual event. So next time we go, you can see the progress that's been made on the things we looked at and what new projects are underway. Maybe have a little more extensive tour. Cody likes to do the waste treatment plan and have people climb up the top of the water tower and all kinds of things. So, regarding our new planning commission member, I haven't been given a timeline for when that appointment will take place. So, sorry, I can't give you any further update on that right now, but I'm sure we should know something between now and next meeting. And when we do, we'll email it out to you.
Okay. At one time, the mayor had told me that he would let me know, any, candidate or whatever, but.
Yeah, I need to follow up with him. I don't know, since we had a round of applications so recently, he might be just dipping back into that. There were a few good candidates, so we'll see. I wanted to let you know that next month we will have at least one and possibly, maybe even probably 2 hearings. And I'll talk about this one here in a second. Andrew brought you a bunch of code changes a while ago. So we've kind of done what we call the first reading. But given some of the complexities with the ADU code that we want to iron out and the fact that we're still understaffed, Clayton's going to be gone for another 6 weeks. We're only bringing you a portion of the ones that you saw at your first reading. So next month will be the rest of them for that hearing. So more code changes. It's ADUs. It is
The appeal process.
the administrative appeal.
Yeah, appeals, instead of going to council, it goes to the court.
Okay, that one's not, I don't think that's the one we put on there. We were talking about how I wish we would have today, but we can look at that. Administrative approval of final plats, like right now, final plats have to go to the city council and it's just pretty much perfunctory once the final plat's approved. So we're gonna bring that in-house, we hope. So Cody can be in charge of signing off on those. And so the other one is, now that we have our annexation done, if you look at the little handout I gave you, we've got several parcels that we want to rezone. I couldn't figure out a good way to do this because they're all over our new part of the city. But these industrial areas here and 3 or 4, I think, parcels right here, also zoned industrial. We plan to rezone those to residential. Majority of them being rezoned to R6, with the exception of these up here that are closest to the county. And we would make those R4, which is our typical pattern of having less density as we get toward the outer boundaries of the city. The reason we want to do that is because with the loop, once it gets constructed, this will not be really an acceptable zone for truck traffic anymore because they won't have direct access to the loop and they'll have to be driving through residential areas. So, and we need more housing, as you all know. Then we have 2 commercial parcels, and that's the one with the tiny little red squares there on one of your pages that we plan to rezone to R16. These are parcels that are located directly behind Safeway. One of them is already developed as an apartment complex. And the smaller one right next to it would just, it makes a lot more sense to for that to be commercial. And it's really not a great lot for development right there, Safeway. So it'd be contiguous to residential areas. Let's see, was there any more? No, I believe that's it. So we have to run this past Department of Commerce, et cetera, but we can still go ahead and conduct our hearing. And if you do vote to recommend approval of it, then we would follow that up by going to council. Any questions? Okay. Well,
Hey, is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the commission? Okay, moving on. Hey, unfinished business. Staff, is there any unfinished business from the last meeting? No. Hey. Staff, is there any new business?
Not from us.
Okay. Since we made a request to the mayor and the city administrator for a joint meeting between the city council and the planning commission, I would request that the commissioners make a list of suggested topics to be covered during the meeting and provide them at the next planning commission meeting for discussion. A joint working group is being requested versus just a joint meeting. Is there any discussion or questions regarding this?
you could get us those suggestions before, like a week before the meeting, get them all compiled for your packet.
Right, yeah, well, basically, I'm wanting to get the questions for the next meeting. So then that way we can get them, condensed and stuff. I'll apologize for the delay in doing this. I had wanted to send out an email, a month or so ago, but to be able to keep everything recorded on record, as far as, the questions and to where we're not doing things behind the scenes that, in order to be able to present it at the meeting that needed to be done during this meeting since we had the tour last month. So it kind of put this up behind a little bit. So I'm just wanting to kind of get it out there so we can get some questions or get a list of topics to cover with the city council.
Like, reiterate that I emailed you.
No, that's fine. I mean, if you've got anything else to add,
Okay.
but I've got yours, so I'll add that in there though, so.
Is there a time frame you want these, like the next couple of weeks? So we.
Before the next meeting, and then that way, let's say, how about, a week before the next meeting, that way I have time to compile it.
Oh, Gary wants it a week before.
Yeah, well, okay, so, 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, and then that way I've got time to send it to Gary.
Yeah, just so we have time to put it in your packet is the main thing.
So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't gonna go to city council, at the next
Right.
meeting, but I mean, at least, so.
Wait, can I share my points just to start people thinking about it?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
So they're all kind of related and all kind of started from the whole rules and procedures subcommittee, the goal of updating the rules and procedures and doing all that research. There's a mayor and city council. I found a mayor and city council protocol manual, and in there is an appendix that talks about all the commissions. And so there's all these things that we didn't know about. So, we weren't given, that's not part of our welcome packet. So, one of those things is developing a work plan. And a lot of other cities, their planning commissions have a work plan for the year. I think the Yelm one, per the mayor and city council protocol manual, it says, I want to say March, we're supposed to provide a work plan for the year. So kind of all related is developing that work plan. So I guess stepping back, it's like understanding the city council's vision and goals so that we can, and obviously staff is very imperative in developing that work plan. But just it's some alignment between that document and what will become our document. And then kind of communication. So in that giant study session will help, that's the first step of having some communication. But, they have a public services committee as part of, I think there's 3 members of council that are part of that. So presumably planning is under their purview. So it's like, do we meet with them or send any correspondence to them? Do we go back and forth? So it's just kind of setting some protocol for communication with council.
Thank you. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, moving on. The public hearing. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. I open the Yelm Planning Commission public hearing at 4:14 p.m. Today's hearing is on the proposed amendments to the City of Yelm Unified Development Code. I'll now open the floor on public testimony. If there's anyone wishing to speak this afternoon, please click on the raise hand button or come to the podium. Please give your name and address for the record. Is there anybody online
Not online.
nobody online? Okay, staff, is there any comments?
No, sir.
Okay, commission, are there any questions or comments?
Okay, I have 2, and I don't know how relevant these are, but I was reading an RCW that I think is the applicable one that established these requirements. And one was saying that the city must provide notice to property owners within 250 feet when one of these is processed. Is that?
Are you speaking for unit lot subdivisions?
Yes. Oh, are we not talking about that one?
I'm just, there's three of them up, so I want to
First
make
one,
sure,
Yes.
I was looking at the same.
Oh, okay, we're talking about all of them? Yes, I guess
In this public hearing.
Got
too.
it, yes.
Yeah.
On the screen, sorry, unit lot subdivisions. And I don't know, this could be addressed somewhere else, this may not even apply, but, I just wanted, put it out there that, I was looking at other cities' requirements and that's part of their code. Maybe because they don't provide it elsewhere, but that, yeah, it's just the whole 250-foot notice of when one of these is.
Just to clarify for the record, this hearing includes allowing unit lot subdivisions as an alternative way to divide land, update arterial and collector access requirements for subdivisions and commercial and industrial development projects,
For administration.
and allow final plats to be processed administratively. That's what this current public hearing is covering.
And then one, also on the unit lot subdivision. As I said, I don't know if this fully applies, but I was looking at some other cities' codes and they provide a setback, side set, I don't even know if it's side and rear, but obviously if you do a townhome, this has a 0 lot line, no property line. So if it's attached, it's 0. But if it's detached, is there a minimum distance it should be, for building code? You don't want fires to go over. So you could build it as a, firewalls on both sides, I suppose. But you don't want it too narrow where it's like just someplace that collects trash. So just throwing out there maybe for future, thought. But I think, I'm not sure what city I was looking at. I want to say Lake Stevens. They said 5 feet. And I don't know if that's from the unit lot line to the structure or between. Yeah, I mean, building code wise, you want to be at least 3 feet from a property line. I mean, ideally 5, but 3 is like the real danger zone. So out there.
Yeah, the first question regarding the notification to 250 feet. So in Yelm, it's part of our administrative site plan review process that triggers a public notice,
Okay.
which is 300 feet.
Okay.
So it'd be,
Covered by
it's already covered.
That's what I figured. I just wanna make sure.
Yeah. No, good catch. In terms of the intern, like I don't have my mouse. Reached for something that was not there. So with these, like, let's say that triplex unit was a detached unit there, it would still need to meet fire code, in which I would defer to our fire marshal. But I believe that it is 5 or 10 foot, 5 feet.
From property line to the structure, yeah.
From structure to structure.
10 total, yeah.
Unless you have fire rated walls that
Right.
can minimize that separation, but standard is 10.
Yeah, I guess you could put one on the lot line and make that a firewall and then, I don't know, it'd be weird, but
It would get a little
yeah.
tricky
Expensive.
to go lower than 7 feet. So with the unit lot, the intent is to have that outside perimeter. It's hard to see, but that's orange dotted
Mhm.
through here. So that would meet the primary, the setbacks of that zone. And then internally, the setbacks are not as strict. But yeah, with the building and it would essentially just need to meet fire code. Any other question?
I have a comment. I want to say that after reviewing everything, I commend the staff on all the work you've been doing. A lot of this is very common sense, and I think will help with, no, I strongly believe it'll help make sure housing comes in a smart way and in a timely fashion. I'd also like to say that for C, allowing the final plants to be plats be processed administratively. It just makes sense. So thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you. Any further
Actually,
discussion?
did have a question on that administrative, just, you know, is it for every subdivision? So if you're subdividing, you know, like this 640 acres, city council doesn't need to see that kind of thing?
The 640 is quite.
I know that's special.
I would put that in a separate category. Really what the intent of this is, we'll get a subdivision for 70 lots. And it's been, you know, approved by the hearing examiner. And essentially they put in all the infrastructure, they build the road, the water, sewer,
Oh, it's.
everything's already
No,
done.
okay, so.
It's just processing that, like the surveyed site plan.
The council will have seen it earlier or not necessarily?
Council would not necessarily see it.
Okay.
Our process is the hearing examiner is the decision maker. So it's really right now the process, you can have a plat that's done and stamped by our surveyor, saying it's done, ready to go. But then we have to wait 2 weeks to get it to council, yeah. And there's still a uncertainty because I don't want to go down the road of what if they don't pass it.
Yes.
There's one situation currently where council could see subdivisions, and that's if someone appeals the hearings examiner. But we are actually going to propose to change that to make so that the appeal goes directly to Superior Court.
Oh, that's right, yeah, okay.
Because an appeal of a hearings examiner decision is quasi judicial. I mean, you have to decide it according to the merits of the law. And city councils aren't necessarily trained for that particular function.
Okay,
Good questions.
any further discussion? Okay, if there's no further testimony, I close the hearing at 4:22 PM. Thank you, everyone. Is there a motion at this time?
We would recommend the motion to recommend the proposed code updates to the Yelp City Council.
Their motion?
Yeah, I motion to recommend the proposal or to propose amendments to the city council.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hey, all in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Okay, motion carried. Hey, are there any subcommittee reports for the commission?
So for the Rules and Procedures Subcommittee, did work on an outline, sent that to Anne, and I also sent it, Commissioner Warmond, and I sent it to Commissioner Brooks, in case she was interested in joining the subcommittee, since Commissioner Lay is no longer a commissioner. So it's, we can provide an update next meeting, but just, yes, heads up, we'll do that, show that outline, get some input. Try and condense all the documents in our welcome packet into one document.
Well, that will go with another part that I'm gonna be.
Oh, okay, yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
making a motion on here, so, but
Okay.
no, I'm
Okay.
glad you brought that up, though. Okay, if there's no further subcommittee reports, however, I would like to make a motion to fill the vacancy of Commissioner Lee on the 3-person subcommittee to update the rules of procedure, conduct of business, and bylaws for the operation of the planning commission. Is there a volunteer for the opening on this subcommittee?
I volunteer.
Okay, are there any additional volunteers?
I think we.
Okay, is there a motion to elect the new member, Commissioner Brooks, this subcommittee?
A motion to, appoint, elect, Commissioner Brooks to the Rules and Procedure Subcommittee.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Okay, is there a discussion or amendment? All in favor?
Sorry. I'll do it on a different one.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Okay, motion carried and Commissioner Brooks is hereby appointed to the subcommittee. I would like to make another motion that the subcommittee to update the rules of procedure, conduct of business and bylaws for the operation of the planning commission, provide an update to the commission during regularly scheduled meetings on a quarterly basis. The first update I was asking to be done during the August 2026 meeting. However, if you'll have an update. So is there a second to this motion? Second. Okay. This motion is for the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business Subcommittee to provide an update on the Planning Commission during regularly scheduled meetings on a quarterly basis at a minimum. The first update will be during the August 2026 meeting or sooner. Is there a discussion or amendment that anybody would like to discuss?
Do have a concern, and so please tell me if this, I'm just being silly, that's a possibility at this hour. Since we are missing an individual, we're usually a body of 7.
Right.
If 3 of us meet, is that considered a quorum?
No.
So we'll be okay
Yes.
conducting.
Yes. That was discussed when the subcommittee was created.
Oh.
That's why it's 3 individuals.
Thank you, I just needed reassurance. All right, everything is awesome.
Just as point of discussion, the reason that this motion is being made is because the subcommittee was created 1 year ago, this month. And there hasn't really been any updates or movement on it, so I was just, trying to get some movement on the subcommittee. So, you have mentioned on a few cases about the documents and misalignment and things like that. However, there hasn't been any updates on, kind of what's been done or how we operate or anything. So I would just kind of like to get that
yeah, I
going.
sent Commissioner Brooks the presentation I did in October. I think it was kind of outlining the research that we had done, comparing the other planning commission handbooks and rules and procedures for like Thurston County and Lacey, and I want to say Olympia. And then it was discovered that we found that protocol manual. And then so it's a little bit of chicken and egg. It's like, well, do we match the councils? They apparently already have rules and procedures for us that we just weren't aware of. But since we haven't had that meeting, we'll just go ahead and develop our own.
Yeah, and I understand the depth that it's causing, as far as, in some of the confusion and stuff like that. So I do appreciate what the subcommittee's doing. It's just as far as, keeping us as the commission, kind of informed of kind of how things are progressing. So all in favor, say aye.
All right.
I
Okay, motion carried. Rules of Procedure and Conduct Business Subcommittee will begin providing updates to regular Planning Commission during regularly scheduled meetings commencing August 2026 or sooner. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Meeting is adjourned. It is 4:29 p.m. Thank you.